This episode of Real Garbage is brought to you by Spoiler Alerts! Woo! Do not watch this movie unless you've... crap. Do not listen to this podcast unless you've seen the movie Joker.
Don't do it!
Do not listen to this podcast
it.
unless you've seen Joker.
This is Real Garbage.
So good. Wow.
Jesus Christ.
So good. Like,
this is hilarious. I love how I was going to go see this, and then you messaged me at like 5 o'clock, and you're like, I just saw Joker.
yeah.
Wow. That's all I'm going to say. Wow. Like, yeah, I agree.
It's something that Brandon had talked about. He said it in passing, like earlier in the week. He's like, do you work on Monday? And I'm like, no, I don't. And he's like, okay, great. We're going to go see the Joker. And I'm like, hey, cool. And then it was Thanksgiving weekend. So our normal podcast time, we had to do it today. And I realized, like, this morning after breakfast, Brandon was like, I'm so excited to see the Joker today. And I was like, huh? What? And he's like, we're seeing it. And I was like, no, I have to podcast. No. And then I was like,
well, we were talking about doing it at this time anyway. It didn't matter.
Yeah.
Because I was going to go see it at 7.
Yeah. And then I was like, what time are we seeing it? And I was like, oh my God, Jeff's seeing it. Oh my God. What if we're there at the exact same time? And Brandon was like, no, we're seeing the 4 o'clock showing. And I was like, so.
Thank you for not spoiling anything.
Oh yeah, no problem.
I knew you wouldn't.
No, I'm not that type of gal.
Okay, so all week, I've just been on a Joe Rogan fucking binge. And every guest he has, he somehow starts talking about the Joker. And he's just like, man, it's dark. It's super dark. It's darker than you think it's going to be.
Yeah.
And he just knocks it out of the park. And I was trying not to have my expectations too high.
Yeah.
It didn't matter.
It was
because
so good.
they were met. Like the whole time I'm watching the movie, I'm like, don't expect too much. And I got halfway through and I was like, fuck, this is...
You're like kind of waiting for it to like plateau and just like, ooh.
Yeah, at one point I got halfway through. I pulled my phone. I'm like, I just want to know how far we are into this, because I'm like, I thought I don't have to work tomorrow, so it's kind of nice. I'm like, okay. I found that out after the movie because I'm like, what time is it now? I haven't got a lot of sleep the last couple nights because I've just been fucking sick with this cold. And I look, I'm like, oh, we're halfway. I look over at Blake. I go, we're halfway through. And then the last half, good God, it got even better. And fuck. Oh, so we of course couldn't make any notes.
No.
How should we break this down?
Okay, so
we'll just rave about it for half an hour.
Honestly, yeah. Well, we're introduced to Arthur Fleck, and he's like looking in the mirror in his clown makeup. And apparently, okay, so I already know all the trivia. Fun fact, like really? I already know it all.
Well, I know he lost 50 pounds for this role because he had just done that movie. Crap! You Were Never Really Here. Is that what it's called? Somebody was talking about it the other day. I need to watch it. I heard it's awesome. I think he was pretty thin for that too.
Yeah. So the very first scene when he's looking in the mirror and like making himself smile, that single tear that he shed was improvised.
Really?
Yeah. They were. The director Todd Phillips was like playing the score of the movie and like trying to set the mood, and Joaquin was like getting into character. And then when he was doing that, he just shed the single tear, and Todd was like, that's it. Like that's
Damn.
the shot. And like reading the trivia about this movie, they were like still modifying and editing and drafting the script right up until the last day of filming. Like, I wouldn't say a lot of it was improvised because it wasn't like...
I feel like some of it was, though.
Oh, yeah. Like, I wouldn't say a lot of it or most of it was improvised per se, but in interviews and like reading the trivia with Joaquin Phoenix and Todd Phillips, they both said that during the course of filming, like, they would have the script and then they would like take the scene and act it out, and then Joaquin Phoenix would like leave set sometimes without saying anything and be like, I'm not feeling this, and just go for a walk and like think of like other things and something to do, and then he'd come back and he'd be like, okay, let's go, like let's do this. So they were constantly revising the script and the story all the way up until the last day of shooting.
crazy.
I know.
I'd be interested to know what he was using as sources of inspiration for those emotional, because the looks in his eyes for so much of it, I was like, God damn, what are you fucking thinking of right now?
So he didn't watch or study or use any previous iterations of the Joker.
Oh, you can't.
No.
You can't, because then you're just going to play it like,
it's
you're going to play it like Heath Ledger, or
Yeah.
you're going to play it like Jack Nicholson. You can't.
Fun fact, well, two fun facts that coincide. Joaquin Phoenix and Heath Ledger were really good friends.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
And this movie was released in Australia, coincidentally, on Heath Ledger's birthday.
Really? Mm-hmm. I wonder if he was thinking of Heath in some of these scenes. He probably definitely was.
You know that scene, I'm not spoiling the ending, but I'm fast forwarding to the ending
We
quickly.
can, though.
That's
we told
true.
everybody,
That's
spoiler
true.
alert,
We
and I'm going to write it in there, so fuck you. If you're listening to this now and you
get
haven't
mad
seen
at
the
us,
movie, you're an idiot.
It's your own fault.
You're an idiot.
So at the very end of the movie, when Joaquin Phoenix is in the back of that cop car and he's staring out at Gotham, that's an homage to...
absolutely.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking was, this is right on par with what Heath Ledger was doing in The Dark Knight.
So how Joaquin Phoenix approached this was he did so much research into like isolation and mental illness, and he didn't want to play this specifically as one or two mental illnesses. Like the way he thought about it apparently was, I don't want a psychiatrist or a psychologist to come watch this movie and be able to be like, he is a sociopathic narcissist. Mm-hmm. So he went about it to play it so ambiguously, but so fine-tuned that a psychiatrist wouldn't be able to just diagnose him black and white.
I totally see that, because we were actually talking about it in the car ride home, Blake and I, and I was saying, like, I thought the Joker was supposed to be some sort of like mastermind genius type character. And then, of course, after this, Blake pointed out that he sits in Arkham Asylum for like a decade.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing he probably develops all of that, all those smarts then? Like, is that when he kind of learns and becomes that diabolical character that we've grown to know and love?
What I got from this, I mean, like the timeline, Arthur in this movie is, let's say he's 30. Just for like appearance's sake. And this takes place from my reading and trivia, early 80s. Most people are saying 1981 because that's when a lot of the marquee films like were released. So if this is 1981 and Arthur is 30, then he was born in 49 or 50. Let's just round it out and say 1950. In 1981, he meets young Bruce Wayne, and he's probably like, what, 10?
I'd say like 8.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, 8 between 8 and 10.
Yeah. So the Joker's 20 years older than Bruce when he's starting. And then when Bruce becomes Batman, he is 25, 30.
Yeah, so that timeline was a little weird.
Yeah.
And there was that point where we find out, he finds out that he's Bruce's brother, and you're like, no fucking way.
Yeah.
That's weird. And then Blake's like whispering, what, the age is different. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm thinking, but in the first original Batman, Jack Nicholson's character asked him, you ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight? And the kid is a kid, and so the age makes sense. The age difference makes sense. I was like, no fucking way are they brothers, though? But it would explain so much.
What I got from it was that this, like, Arthur wasn't necessarily the Joker that goes head to head with Batman all the time. He just became the symbol of, the revolution of Gotham and crime escalating, and like he was the poster boy for the Joker that Batman faces to come. But this, like, Todd Phillips made it very clear in interviews, like, this is just a movie. It's a standalone film. Yeah. He's not, like, Joaquin Phoenix isn't going to be a Joker or a character or have any affiliation with the new Batman movie coming out. Like,
oh, they're making another one?
Yeah. Robin Pattinson was cast as Batman, and Zoe Kravitz today was cast as Catwoman.
Robert Pattinson as Batman.
Yeah. We'll see how it goes.
I don't know how I feel about that.
We'll see.
How awesome was it that Todd Phillips directed this?
I know.
The Hangover director.
Right?
I loved how he put a lot of comedians in it.
Yeah.
There was Mark Maron was in there, a couple other ones. Brian Callen, you could hear him. He was one of the clowns. Looking in the mirror, he was painting his face.
Yes.
Blake goes, that's fucking Brian Callen. I recognize that voice. I'm like, I hear him again. I go, oh yeah, that's Callen. Which is kind of funny because he's been in the Hangover 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure the third one too.
Yeah, he was that wedding chapel guy.
We also do annulments too. It's very sad, but I give you great price.
But yeah, so the film opens and we see Arthur at his clown desk. And right off the bat, I knew that this was going to be one of those movies that was hard for me to watch, not because of like, you know, the violence, but I hate watching movies that, you know, the like fat kid like Piggy in Lord of the Flies is like picked on and like killed, and like it makes me so sad.
Well, it brings back flashbacks of being a kid to me because I was bullied.
Same. Like it hurts my heart so much. Like right in the opening scene, or not the opening scene, but the first when he's like twirling the sign on the street from the trailer, I turned to Brandon. I was like, this movie's gonna make me cry. I know it. I didn't end up crying.
For me, it just made me think, oh, he's gonna get his fucking payback at some point. I was rooting for him.
Yeah.
I was totally rooting for him in this movie.
And
does that make me bad?
No, because when like we talked about this when we reviewed Endgame, like, and Infinity War, like you kind of sided with Thanos. Like he wasn't
I still do.
specifically genocidal for no reason or for like being racist or sexist or whatever. He was just like, there are too many people. I don't care if you're rich, poor, man or a woman, or if you're an alien, like half of you gotta go.
Did you have to go to the store at all in the last 2 days during Thanksgiving weekend?
Oh, yeah. Bye.
I got stuck behind this lady today. She's 2 people in front of me at the express lane, and she goes to tap her card. She goes to tap her card, and it goes, it ain't working. And she goes, oh, we'll try it again. She goes, hey, just use your PIN number. She goes, oh, I can't remember my PIN. And I'm sitting there thinking, are you fucking serious?
Whoa.
Are you that dense you can't remember your PIN number for your fucking credit card? That seems a kind of an important number to remember.
That can't happen because you can't tap every single transaction. It makes you put your card in to make sure it's not fraudulent.
So I start thinking, is this a stolen card? This is what this person behind the counter should be going, may I see your ID? Can I see the card? May I please see your ID? Because this might be fraudulent.
Yeah.
But then she pulled out another card and paid for it. I was like, okay, good. Get the fuck moving.
Yeah.
Oh, but I just wanted, as soon as I pulled into the Thrifty's parking lot, I instantly wanted to murder people.
You were like, we need a new plague.
Snap my fingers and go, bah, get out of here.
Poof.
Because people just.
I know.
I don't even want to get into it.
I know. But yeah, like,
oh my God, excuse me.
The character development in this movie and the slow burn of seeing Arthur start out as just a person trying to be normal or not normal, but trying to be like social, trying to be happy, trying to integrate himself into society and constantly getting shunned and beaten down and like disrespected, and seeing his slow decline into accepting that that's not going to happen and accepting people are like fucking awful. And then like the pattern of events that happens where he no longer can take his meds because social services sector gets shut down and he just like spirals. And it's something that you watch and you're like, this is like, I can see Arthur in like this person that I know, or like a potential, like I can see truly this happening. And it just sheds some light on the seriousness of like mental illness and untreated mental illness and just the ruthlessness of people. And yeah, it really gets you thinking and like, you know, putting a mirror up to yourself. Like the whole time I was like, holy shit. Like
he points out this one line where he's talking about how, what's old man Wayne's first name?
Oh, Thomas.
Thomas Wayne has never thought to put himself in the position of someone else.
Yeah.
Those people, he's never thought of himself as someone else. He's only him. He's only Thomas Wayne.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of us don't do that. Like, how many times have you really sat down and gone, like, looked at someone and went, man, like, what is it like to be in that person's shoes?
Yeah.
We don't do it very often.
No.
If ever. So this was a really cool social commentary on society. Like, I'm very thankful that, you know, we live in beautiful British Columbia, Canada, and we, you know, I feel like we're here in Brentwood Bay and you're in Sydney, that we live in communities where people are just super fucking sweet and super nice.
Yeah.
They help each other out. Nobody's stepping over each other. If they see someone that needs a hand, they give them a hand.
Yeah.
I'm noticing that in Sydney. I'm now working in Sydney there, and everybody in that bar I work in is so friendly. Customers and workers.
I know, right?
I'm like, it's crazy. I actually work with a person I went to high school with,
Really?
which is so wild.
Whoa.
Yeah, she goes, I'm gonna go, you're Megan, right? She goes, yeah. I said, she goes, where are you from? I go, you mean where did I work before this? She goes, no, where are you from? She goes, are you from Manitoba? And I go, yeah. She goes, are you from Brandon? And I go, yeah. She goes, I'm Megan Ruth. I'm like, oh shit. Oh, you were like 2 grades below me. You were like in my best friend's grade. I'm like, what the fuck? She's be friends with my sister.
That's wild.
Small world.
Yeah, truly.
Small country. But yeah, like it was so neat to see the similarities between Gotham and parts of the world.
Yeah.
How about the weight loss? Say 50 pounds.
God,
50 pounds of weight loss. And I was just reading here right now that he was saying, like, when you get down that low,
yeah,
your whole mental state changes.
Yeah.
It's true though. Like I'm a skinny guy. I'm not very big. Like, and I've just lost. I'm 14 days into sober October now, and I've lost, another 7 pounds or so.
Oh, wow.
I'm down to 164, 165 pounds.
Damn.
But I feel good.
That's good.
I'm just gonna keep it going. This is my natural weight. I've accepted it. My shirts are gonna fit a little looser, and I'm okay with that. I'm not gonna fill out the wardrobe I have right now. I'm gonna have to go buy new clothes. I'll just start eating more in November. I'm eating like an animal though.
Yeah, that stew was good.
Yeah, it was beef. That was hamburger soup.
Mm.
Slow cooker.
But yeah, I seriously cannot think of one thing about this movie that I did not like. Everything felt intentional. Everything had a purpose. There wasn't any like gratuitous, unnecessary transition shots or
casting was perfect.
Oh
Every
my
role was played
God,
perfectly.
yeah.
Every character that was in there was a necessary character. There was nothing unnecessary.
Yeah, and they didn't, like, usually the route of the Joker, especially in the Suicide Squad with Jared Leto,
I did not like
who,
that.
by the way, he was really upset that he wasn't considered for this role and didn't get called on. He was personally offended, allegedly.
I turned Suicide Squad off 45 minutes in.
Fair.
I couldn't watch it.
I pushed through it just to see, because I heard still, it was polarizing. A lot of people were like, fuck that. But a lot of people I knew were also like, it was really good.
His Joker was too comic booky.
Oh yeah.
It wouldn't be dark enough.
No.
Like, he's a great actor. Jared Leto's a great actor, but I don't think after seeing Joaquin Phoenix in this, nobody could have played it better.
It gave the Joker some humanity.
Get some Dayquil. Keep talking.
Okay. Yeah, this movie gives the Joker some humanity. Like, every other iteration that I can think of, even Heath Ledger's was more maniacal and thoughtful in his decisions, but he was still, the clown prince of crime, like sociopathic, chaos. He wanted chaos everywhere.
Well, he had that 10 years in Arkham. That was him down the road. Where Batman was older, he was older, and he had developed those maniacal, diabolical skills.
Yeah, whereas in this one, Arthur, he just genuinely wants to bring joy and happiness to people. Like, he wants to be a stand-up comedian. He wants to do what his mom had told him when he was a kid and make people happy. And he just suddenly became this symbol without meaning to for defending himself on the subway. And it spiraled and it snowballed. Like, he was never cold-blooded, like, I'm gonna ruthlessly murder everyone. Like, all of his acts of violence, I'm not gonna say they were justified, but
self-defense, the one on the train for sure. Like, how many times are you going to get kicked while you're down before
Yeah.
you're like, fuck you, you piece of shit. Those guys could have left them alone.
Yeah. Like every choice he made sense for how his character was spiraling and everything that had happened to him. Like he
The critics only gave this movie like 65%.
I know.
It's so absurd. I looked on Rotten Tomatoes and I'm like, really?
Every review I read on IMDb and stuff was like 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10, 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10. And IMDb, it's 8.9 out of 10. And I'm like, I would, in this scenario,
Rotten Tomatoes, 68%.
I would love to find out why. Like,
I want to meet the people that are critics
Yeah.
at Rotten Tomatoes and go, who the fuck do you think you
Yeah.
are? Are you...
are
Can
you
I say the R word?
No.
Are you
Are
guys
you
fucking
ridiculous?
stupid? Like, honestly, that was one of the best
Yeah.
films I've seen in a long time.
It was so,
It was good. It was great.
yeah.
It was great.
I never, like, I was fully in the story. I was fully immersed in Arthur's character. And there was so much ambiguity. Like, is Arthur Thomas Wayne's half son? We don't know. Like, I was reading this theory that, you know, on one hand, it's very possible that his mom, Penny, was just mentally ill and adopted him and then let her boyfriend or whatever abuse him, and then that was formulaic to how Arthur grew up. Or
bombshell to discover. Holy.
right? Or like Thomas Wayne is like the richest dude in Gotham, so absolutely he could commit Penny and forge adoption things and pay people off. Like, and then that photo that the Joker finds towards the end of the film where it's his young mom, and on the back of it, it says, like, always loved your smile, TW. You know, a theory was like that could genuinely be Thomas Wayne, or could have been Penny and her delusions, and she wrote it herself. Like, you truly don't know what happened and what's the truth. And they made the Joker such an unreliable narrator too, with the fact that his whole relationship with Sophie, that was her name from the apartment, was completely fabricated by him. Like,
what? Yeah.
Like,
was it completely?
yeah, because when he broke into her house and she came in, she's like,
Oh, that's right.
"Oh, you have the wrong apartment.
That all makes sense now.
You live down there with your mom, right?" Like, she had no idea who he was.
I didn't pick up on
And
that
then
at all. I thought that maybe she was just scared because he seemed a little off. And I thought maybe she had someone else in the apartment with her and was like, "Oh, yeah, you're reading in a little too much to the time we spent together.
No.
You need to go." Wow.
No.
Fuck.
Yeah,
Holy shit.
because in the flashbacks when he's on her couch and he's realizing that none of it ever happened, he's thinking back to it, and we see the flashbacks, and he's like at the newsstand.
She's not with him.
Yeah, like he's at the newsstand, and then she's briefly there, but then she disappears, and he turns and he's talking to no one, and like you truly see how much he's unraveled.
Holy fuck.
So yeah, like it completely establishes that he's an unreliable narrator, and you don't know how much of this has actually happened.
Oh my God. This movie just gets better and better.
I know.
I want to watch it again.
And
I really want to watch it again now.
That turn when he's on the Murray Franklin show.
Murray.
Murray.
It says here that was his favorite part of this whole thing,
Yeah.
was sassing Robert De Niro.
Yeah. The whole time when he was when he was pretending and rehearsing on his couch with his gun, I totally thought that like he was gonna kill himself on TV, but then
I didn't think he was.
turning and like,
Because I knew he was going to shoot Murray. I'm like, there's no way he's going to kill himself because the Joker is a character that we see in the future, right?
True.
So he's not dead.
But I also don't think that, like I said, I also don't think that this specific iteration was the one that also goes toe to toe with Batman.
Yeah.
Because the like timeline's off. But then again, timelines.
No, like the timeline wasn't off though. Because like, how old was he? What do you think he was in this movie?
Like 30, 35. So
if you think back to the original Batman, do you remember? Have you seen the original Batman?
Yeah, with Cesar Romero.
With Jack Nicholson.
Oh, that's not
Jack
the original.
Nicholson and Michael Keaton. Well, okay. I almost said Michael Jackson. The Michael Keaton, Jack Nicholson Batman.
Yeah.
where the parents get shot in the alley. Jack Nicholson looks like he's in his mid-30s.
True.
When he's like, you ever dance with the devil? He looks like he's in his mid-30s. So
True.
the age works.
Yeah.
To me, it totally works.
True.
And I thought it was going to be him that killed Wayne in this one because he's pissed off because he was lied to.
Nope, just a rioter.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah. And then I
But
really liked...
It is a standalone film, so I can't really complain too much.
Yeah. And I really liked how, like, they modeled the Joker's clown makeup after John Wayne Gacy. And the comedy club that he performed at was called Pogo's.
Yeah.
And John Wayne Gacy's clown name was Pogo the Clown.
Oh.
Yeah. Fun fact,
You sure did your research on this.
I do this for movies that just fully capture me.
As I look down, I see, yep, similar to John Wayne Gacy right there.
I just, with movies like this, I become so obsessed. Like, I need to know everything.
I see that. They did say, I read that the hardest, most difficult thing for him in this movie was getting the laugh.
Yeah, and
Getting the
he
laugh
was
down.
like...
And that laugh was fucking creepy.
Oh, and I love how the laugh was... Like, everything in this movie was so realistic. Not in, like, terms of action sequences and that type of thing, but like the actions and depictions of characters. Like in this one, the Joker didn't fall into a vat of chemicals at Ace Chemical and turn white and green. Like, he was just a normal looking guy and
paint his face.
Yeah, and performed as a clown. Like, that's where he got the clown persona. Like, he worked as a clown in the city for advertising, and
the musical choices were fantastic. The soundtrack was great. I loved how fitting That's Life was.
Yeah.
For the entire story, for the entire movie. So like some people get their kicks stomping on a dream, and that was the payback Robert De Niro got because that's exactly what he did. And that's what he said to him too. You're going to bring me on here to make fun of me.
Yeah.
And that's a dick fucking move.
That broke my heart. Oh my God.
I love how he just snapped in that scene though. It was so good. Like this, playing a role like this, it's got to take a fucking mental toll on a person.
Oh, absolutely.
Especially with the weight loss too. Like, bravo! I hope he better get nominated for an Oscar.
Heath Ledger won an Oscar for his portrayal, so Joaquin definitely should.
Because this is up there with like I can't really think of. I haven't seen a ton of movies in the theaters this year. Once upon a time in Mexico, but I don't think there's any award-winning performances there. It was good. But it's not Joaquin Phoenix good.
This is one of the best pieces of cinema I think I've seen in a long time, if not ever.
Bravo, Todd Phillips.
Like
especially being... I heard that and I was like, whoa, the Hangover director's doing this? Really?
Yeah.
So that just goes, he's a very versatile director.
Mm-hmm. He's not just put into a box of, you do comedy, that's it.
Yeah. Well, it's pretty sweet because, like, I'm sure a lot of directors out there, like, once they do one thing, they're like, I want to try something different.
Yeah.
I want to try directing something totally different.
Like, there are directors who, like, find their niche and stick with it, like James Wan.
He did Old School, Due Date.
Oh, damn.
Hangover Part 2. What else does he do? 18 credits to his name.
Yeah.
War Dogs.
Oh.
Huh. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
School for Scoundrels. Starsky and Hutch, 2004. That was a great movie.
Yeah, like there are directors like James Wan who find their niche, like horror, and they just go and they do well at it. And then there are directors who are like, okay, I've done this. I was good at it. Let's do this and see if I'm good at it too.
Yeah.
And this was a big payoff for him. Like, so many people are talking about how this is going to be Oscar bait, and I hope so.
It fucking has to be.
Yeah.
Has to be.
Yeah.
We could just rave about this forever.
Honestly, we could. I would give this a fucking 10 out of 10.
It's a 10 out of 10 for me.
I
want to see it again.
So
I would
good.
I would go pay money to see it in the theater again. I probably will.
And I'm gonna buy it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'll like pay for it. I won't just download it. I'll buy it.
This is the type of movie that apparently it got an 8-minute standing ovation.
Really?
Yeah. And this is the type of movie that should be in like film school for character studies.
Yeah.
And how to write characters, how to
honestly, I've
direct.
gone to acting school. And I've always wanted to be an actor. And watching this performance, I just went, holy fucking shit. That right there is the pinnacle of what an actor should be striving for.
Yeah.
A performance like that, I'm just thinking like, oh my God, that's...
And what's interesting is apparently Joaquin Phoenix was offered the lead role in Doctor Strange, and he also was offered to take up the role of the Hulk before Mark Ruffalo took it over from Edward Norton or Eric Bana, whoever did it most recently.
Yeah, Mark Ruffalo just does it too well.
I know.
That's a good casting choice.
But Joaquin Phoenix passed on both of them because he was like, I don't want to be a part of a huge franchise.
The Marvel Universe.
Yeah, he's like, I don't want to be a part of any huge franchise. I want to do single standalone movies. And he's very like particular when he picks his like scripts and stuff.
Well, because he's done some amazing movies.
Yeah.
You ever watch him in that Casey Affleck documentary?
No.
Oh, you haven't?
No.
Oh my God. It's called I'm Still Here. He basically pulled the wool over everyone's eyes and pretended he wanted to be a rapper. He got everyone to believe it. Everyone to believe it. Even
I
like
remember that.
he was on David Letterman once, and Letterman was like, "Fuck you. You're an embarrassment on this show right now." Like he was happy to send him off the show afterwards because he just made a fool of himself. He had everybody fooled. It's a great film. It's really cool.
Oh my God,
it's different.
Whoa.
Oh my! I'm sorry for the coughing, folks.
That's okay. On behalf of all the listeners, that's okay. It better be okay.
I'm gonna sleep in tomorrow morning.
Hell
I don't have to
yeah.
work, which is nice. I didn't sleep with this cold.
But yeah, seriously, go see this movie.
Go see Joker.
It is phenomenal.
You know how good it is? I sat in regular seats tonight.
Whoa.
Yeah. I sat
You
in
didn't
a
sit in
regular
your
theater.
reclinies.
I didn't go to the recliner seats because they weren't available.
Oh,
I sat in a regular seat, elbow to elbow with other people, and it was worth it. It was okay.
So good.
I just made sure I sat up straight the whole time.
Yeah.
My knees are feeling okay.
That's
That's
good.
that Thai massage, I tell you.
Dang, I'm so excited.
Does it?
Gotta get it done.
Okay. All right. Let's call it there.
Okay.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
This is Real Garbage.